Uh-huh.
If you don't have a coat? Oh, you mean like all your pockets and stuff? Yeah, totally. Absolutely. You forget that it kind of doubles as that. I mean, I'm glad it at least even has pockets, right? Alrighty, we got folks on Zoom, we got folks in the room. Go ahead and just grab a purple mat and pick a box somewhere on the ground. Yeah, so we're all socially distanced. But without further ado, we're going to begin with our typical warm-up. For those of you who've been here for a bit know the drill. Let's begin with 30 seconds of marching. Today's focus is going to be the difference between strength and conditioning. Also, a note for my folks in the room, let me know if you can't hear me. It's just kind of hard to tell with the music and the mask. Just give me a little something like that if at any point, you're having trouble, and I'll know to project a bit more. 10 more seconds on these marches. Alrighty, and in 3, 2, 1, switch to high knees, picking up the pace, bringing them up to our belly button. While you continue to do that, I'm going to stop so I can talk and explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So our first set is going to be a total body core set, meaning that we're using the upper and lower body muscles while still doing a focus on the core. The next set after that will be strength, meaning that we are focusing on slow and controlled motions, contractions of the muscles. The third set is going to be conditioning, meaning that we're focused on getting that heart rate up, moving that cardiovascular system. And in 3, 2, 1, let's switch to butt kickers, bringing those heels all the way up to tap that gluteus maximus. 20 more seconds on the clock. Hello, go ahead and grab a purple mat, and then the squares that are blocked off for each person. All right, halfway through those butt kickers. Alrighty, and in 3, 2, 1, let's switch to jumping jacks. Keep on going with those for 30 seconds here. I apologize for how hot it is in the room. Our system is still realizing that it's spring and that it needs to actually shift over to not heating it at all. We're trying to figure out, but if you need to take out your shoes once we get to the mat portion, do anything else that works for you, stop and grab more water. Please take care of yourself, people in the room. Alrighty, let's continue with the jumping jacks. And in 3, 2, 1, we're going to come up into a star position. Reach down and begin tapping that hand to your opposite foot. We're starting to warm up the core specifically here, focusing on those muscle groups that we'll mainly be working today. Alrighty, and in 3, 2, 1, we're now going to come down into a plank position, checking ourselves out in the mirror, making sure we have a nice straight line from our shoulder all the way to our heels, and then we're just going to rock back into down dog and rock back forward. This will be our next 30-second set. All right, that's for 3, 2, 1. Next one we're going to be doing is landing in that down dog, walking our hands all the way up to our feet, and then coming back out, walking it into a plank. Still practicing that good plank form. Oops, wrong direction. Just grab a mat and then take that spot. Alrighty, next we're going to be adding a jump to our inchworm for the last exercise in our warm-up. So what this means is when we're in that plank position body core. So we're going to be using our upper and lower body muscles as well as working the muscles of the core. We're going to be doing this at a tempo set, which means that we're going to do it at the same pace as the music. So let me just switch us over to the music that actually has the beat. So for these, we're going to be down together on the ground for the very first exercise in this set. It's going to be push-ups to plank taps. So what this means, I'll show you first from the front and then from the side, is that we're going to be doing a push-up either full or modified push-up. We'll be doing 1, 2 the beat at this pace. Let me just catch it. Okay, here we go. So down to count 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So down for 2, up for 2, tap, tap, and then hold, and we'll start again. So you can either be doing the full or the modified push-ups there. We'll be doing 15 of these all together, then we get a break and move on to the next exercise. So we'll start at the top of the next phrase, but I'll cue you into it because I know it can be hard to hear. So join me down on the mat. Get ready to come up into that form in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Down for 4, 3, up for 2, 1, tap, tap, and let's hold for that 2. Down for 4, 3, 2, 1, tap, tap, hold, that's 2. Tap, tap, and you're starting to find the beat, so I'll turn it up a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap, tap, and we hold. Down for 4. That's 10. 5 more. Down, down, up, and up. Tap, tap. Two more. You can do it. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap, tap. Last one. Here we go. Down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap, tap, and we're done. I know those ones are brutal. I always like to start out with the hardest exercises. 30-second break here. Roll out those wrists. I know this can be hard on your joints. Next one we're going to be doing is on our feet. These are going to be sumo side bends. So for these, I want your feet wider than your hips, toes pointed outward, hands behind your head. We're going to come down to a nice squat, keeping the belly button pulled in, the back nice and flat. We're going to bend our elbow towards each knee to show you that from the front. So again, we'll be doing this one to the beat, but a little bit faster because it's an easier motion. So the tempo, this one will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. That'll be 1. We'll be doing 30 of those. So let's begin at the top of the next phrase. I'll count y'all into it, though. Down in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down in 1. Tap, tap. That's 1. This is halfway. We're 15. Remember to keep that torso upright, pulling that belly button into spine. Five left. You can push through here. Last one. Here we go. Alrighty, shake out those quads. I know it starts to burn. Next one in this set is going to be back down on the mat. We're going to be on our hands and knees here. Hands planted nice and firm on the ground. Toes tucked behind your knees. When we get into the exercise, we'll lift those knees off the ground, and we'll be doing fire hydrants. These are fire hydrants, but because we have our knees lifted, we're forced to engage the core as well. For this one, we're going to be doing 15 on each side. Again, to that beat, and it's going to be pretty quick because they're a quick exercise. So this looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just doing them on the beat on every single count. Let's take 15 more seconds on our break here. Make sure you grab the water that you need. I know it's boiling in here. Honestly, we should be doing Bikram yoga, not core. Okay. Join me in this position. Let's get ready to lift up onto those feet in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push away from your shoulders. 11, 12, 13, 14, and that's 15. Come back down, shake out those wrists. We're going to come back up for the other side. All right, get ready in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Woo! Shake out those arms. Going to take that 30-second break before we jump into the next set. Oh, man. It is toasty. Okay. We have about 15 seconds left on our break, but the last exercise in this full body core set is going to be lunges with twists. So for these, you're going to step out. I want you to step out, bounce a little bit, twist away from the leg that's in front, bounce again, and then come back because, again, we are doing it to that tempo. So what this will look like on that beat is something like bounce, twist, bounce, and back, bounce, twist, bounce, and back. We'll be doing that one together. Again, we will be doing 15 of these on each side. So we're just going to focus on one side first, burn out that leg. Join me up on your feet. We're going to jump into this one in just a few. All right, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Bounce, twist, bounce, and in. Bounce, twist, bounce, and in. Rotating that entire upper body. That's 3. This is 10. 5 more. Last one. Bounce, twist, bounce, and up. Shake out those legs, roll out those ankles. Let's get ready to move into the other side. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Bounce, twist, bounce, leg. Bounce, twist, bounce, and back. This is 10. 5 more. Two left. 1, 2, 1, and back. Last one. Woo! All right. I know that set burned out the quads. That is what it's intended to do. We get a full 1 minute break here. Grab some water, take a stretch. I'll talk about the next set in just a minute. Alrighty, we have about 30 seconds left on this break. Next set, as I said, is going to be strength. This means slow, intentional, controlled movement. We're going to be down on the mat for the rest of the class. So if you want to take your shoes off, find a way to get a little bit cooler. Totally okay with that. I understand. It is way too hot in here. We're going to be beginning with dead bugs. So for these, I want your legs straight up in the air, your back pressed flat into the mat as it can be, pulling that belly button into the spine. We're going to have legs nice and straight up, arms nice and straight up as well. Bringing down the alternate arm and leg. But I want to reiterate here, you should only be bringing that leg down as far as you can keep your back flat on the mat. I want it to be stuck to that mat the entire time. We're going to be doing these exercises on a 45-15 interval, meaning that we're not doing it to the beat. You just have 45 seconds to do it at whatever pace works best for you. If you want to feel it more, I recommend you actually go slower, more controlled movements, work that muscle a little bit more intentionally. Alrighty, we have about 5 seconds left on this break, so join me on the mat. And in 3, 2, and 1, here we go. 45 seconds of dead bugs at your own pace. Seconds left here. 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. We get a 15-second break after each of these exercises. Next one is going to be a bridge, so we're staying in the same position, planting our feet about hip width, pressing our hands into the mat, and we're going to lift those hips towards the ceiling. Squeeze those glutes at the top of each exercise. If you want to make this one harder, you can put one leg out for a little bit of a balance challenge as well. Let's get ready to jump into 45 seconds of bridges in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Seconds left here. For 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. 15-second break. Next exercise in this set is going to be windshield wipers. So we're staying in that same position on the floor. Once again, bring those legs up to the ceiling. So for this one, legs up to the ceiling, we're going to gently bring them down to each side. And once they're down, use abdominal muscles to pull them back to center and bring them back to the other side. I want this to be an intentional movement of bringing them back, pausing for a moment, then bringing them back down. None of this back and forth. forth craziness. We can't rely on momentum too much here. We have about 10 seconds left on this break. So get ready to bring those feet up to the sky. We're going to jump into windshield wipers in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 5 seconds left here. Push through. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking that 15-second break. This time coming up onto our bum to go into Russian twist. So for Russian twist, we want our chest nice and lifted, pulling that belly button into the spine. Let's begin with our heels resting on the floor. And we're simply going to make sure we're twisting our entire upper body. I don't want to see your arms just going back and forth. I want you to think about rotating your entire shoulders. This one, I kind of like to make a fist and put the other end over it, but you can do whatever you like with your hands. We're just going to be moving it back and forth. To make this one harder, lift those feet off the ground. Try to keep that lower body entirely stable while you rotate the upper part. But if you see it moving, bring those feet back down to the ground. In about 5 seconds, let's jump in. Beginning in 3, 2, and 1. 15 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and that is our strength set. We're going to be going through those exercises one more time. It's going to be a little faster this time, so I'm not doing explanations in between. I'll just give you little reminders for ways to perform it most effectively. Make sure you grab that drink of water, though. We're going to be coming back down onto the mat for those dead bugs in about 5 seconds here. Or sorry, no, about 10 seconds. My bad. Alrighty, let's bring those feet up to sky, pushing that back into the mat, pulling your belly button into your spine. And in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Left here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, that is our strength set for the day. Oh, sorry, my bad. What am I talking about? Next one is going to be bridge. I was looking ahead of myself. Again, bridge, you're just going to plant those feet, lift those heads, press your hands into the mat, squeezing that gluteus maximus. In 4, 3, 2, here we go. Option to add that single leg alternating on each side if you need to make it more challenging. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying in that position, getting ready to move into those windshield wipers. Bring those legs to sky. And in 3, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Taking that 15-second break, getting ready to move into those Russian twists. So sit on up, meet me on your bum. For these ones, if you do choose to pull your legs off the floor, I really want to see those be absolutely still while you rotate your entire upper body. Not so important to touch the hands on either side as it is to really make sure that you are working those obliques, those rotational abdominal muscles. Let's get ready to jump into this one in 4, 3, 2, and 1. For 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, we get a full 1-minute break here. At this point, we're about halfway through class. So I'd love to ask people how they're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. If people in the room could show me on your hands and on Zoom could show me on the chat. I just sort of like to use it as 1 being, Lexi, this is supposed to be hard. I'm not even breaking a sweat. 10 being, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I need some way to sort of take this down a notch so I survive through the rest of class. So if you could just sort of give me that on your hands, I can scan around and see what level I should adjust the rest of class for. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then Zoom people, I'll come check you as well. We're shooting to be in about like the 6 to 7-ish range, maybe pushing 8. That way we can know that we're working ourselves, that we're trying hard, we're not necessarily dying. Alrighty, let's see what we got in Zoom. Sweet, 5 to 8-ish range, right what we're looking for. Next set is going to be focused on conditioning. So what these are, unlike sort of the more strength movements we were doing, where some of them were a little bit more slow and controlled like the Russian twist, we're going to be doing conditioning, meaning that we're going pretty much as quickly as you can bear for that full interval. This interval is only going to be 30 seconds because I realize it's a lot harder to do something that really keeps your heart rate up like that. The first one in this set is going to be V-ups or jackknives if you want the lower the lower intensity option. So to show the higher intensity option first, V-ups mean you're completely down on the floor and you're bringing that body up to a V, bringing your arms to be parallel with those legs, bringing those legs up at about a 45-degree angle. So coming up, jackknives are a reduced intensity version of this where we have our hands planted, fingers towards the bum, and we're bringing the knees in and out. You can switch halfway through the interval. I'll tell you when you're halfway, so if you're feeling exhausted, you can. Again, this is going to be 30 seconds of work with that same 15-second break. Let's get ready to jump into this one in about 10 seconds. So come down onto the mat. Get ready to bring in those V-ups in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, we're halfway through. If you're switching to jackknife, it's like this. For 3, 2, and 1. Next one in this set is going to be mountain climber. So flip it over onto our stomach, getting back into that good plank position. For these, I recommend you plank up on your hands. We're going to be bringing our knees here, bring your knees in more slowly, so one step at a time. Opposite thing to make it more difficult, bring those knees in at an even faster pace. In 4, 3, 2, here we go. 30 seconds of mountain climbers. Halfway through. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. 15-second break here. Next one, we're flipping back over onto that back 4 flutter cake. So for these ones, we're going to plant our hands into the mat. I don't want to see them under your butt because that shifts the exercise from your core more to your hip flexors. So for these, I want to see your hands planted firmly on the mat. If you need to make it easier, lift your legs closer up to the ceiling rather than putting your hands under your bum. For these, we're just going to gently find an angle that works for you and flutter back and forth. Again, to make it easier, bring those toes closer to the ceiling. To make it harder, bring those toes further down. But no matter how low your toes are going, I want that back flat on the mat the whole time. We're going to begin this one in about 5 seconds, so meet me down on the mat. Bring those legs to sky, and here we go. Halfway through here. For 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, next and last exercise in this set is plank jack. So for plank jack, we're going to flip over onto our front. We're going to be on a plank either on our hands or on our forearms, whichever you prefer. Once we're in that plank, we're going to bring our legs nice and wide out like we're doing a jumping jack. Then bring them back in to show you from the front. It's just going to be 30 seconds of plank jacks in and out, maintaining that good form, keeping that bum down. Let's jump into this one in 4, 3, 2, here we go. Halfway through. And that's our 30 seconds. We're going to take a 1-minute break here before we move into that set 2 more times. Basically, because it's so short, we're just doing those rapid-fire 30-second intervals. We're going to be doing that one 3 times overall today. So we just finished our first set. You have that full 1-minute break. Grab your water. If you need to refill, it's outside. I know that it's, like I said, absolutely boiling, so no worries at all if you do need to refill. Also happy to answer any questions you have about these exercises during the break, what muscles they work, why we chose them, things like that. I love talking about these different movements and the class plans overall, so please let me know if you have any. We have about 30 seconds left on that break. We're going to begin again with those V-ups or jackknives. Just to demonstrate those one more time, for jackknives, we have our fingers pointing towards our bum. We're keeping our chest nice and tall and just bringing our legs in and out. For those V-ups, we're bringing both our legs and our arms up to center. How's the volume? Can people in the back hear me okay? Okay, just want to make sure there. 10 seconds left on this break. Decide on whether you're doing those V-ups or jackknives, at least for the first part. Let's come on down to the mat and get ready to begin that 30 seconds of work in 3, 2, and 1. For 3, 2, and 1 on those V-ups. 15 seconds here. We're going to flip over, get ready for those mountain climbers. Again, step by step to make it easier, higher pace to make it a little harder. All right, and in 3, 2, and 1, let's get into it. but doesn't pull your back off the mat. Alrighty, in 3, 2, and 1, here we go. For 3, 2, and 1. Last one in the set. We're going to be moving into those plank jacks, and we get that 1-minute break. Join me on the mat here. Let's get ready to come up into that plank. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Alrighty, for 3, 2, and 1. And I actually, looking at the time, I'm going to cut off that last set. So lucky you don't have to do these exercises anymore. We're instead going to move into our final burnout. This should be about 2.5 minutes. And then we're going to move into our cool down portion of the day, because I really need to cool down, and I imagine all of you do too, as best as we can in this room. So for this final plank burnout, we are going to be doing 3 different kinds of planks, 4 planks total, 30 seconds each. I'm going to demonstrate all of them right now so that we can move into each of them without a break in between. That's what makes this our final burnout. So if you want to try the form with me right now, and then we can just move into it as one continuous 2-minute final burnout. So the first set that we're going to be doing for 30 seconds is rainbow plank. So what this is the same plank formation down on our forearms as we've been doing for all of class, but gently dipping our hips back and forth to either side. So we have that good, strong plank formation, gently dipping our hips. We're not trying to touch the ground or anything. We're just trying to engage those obliques, those rotational twisting muscles. So we'll be doing 30 seconds of those rainbow planks. From there, we'll be coming into 30 seconds of side plank. So what this means is that our hips are lifted, our shoulders and chest forward, shoulders back. 30 seconds there before we move into 30 seconds on the other side plank. And then our final bit is going to be reverse plank. We're working up to doing plank in and out. So from that side plank, you're going to come over, press yourself up, lift those hips like we were doing bridge, but this time you're resting on your heels rather than on the soles of your feet. So again, we're going to be doing those rainbow planks. 30 seconds there, 30 seconds of each side plank, and then 30 seconds of that reverse plank, pressing ourselves away from the mat, not locking out our joints for any of those, and then we are done for the day. So meet me down on the mat. Let's get ready to move into that 30 seconds of rainbow plank in about 5 seconds. Come on to our forearms, and in 3, 2, and 1, here we go. For 3, 2, and 1, side plank. bum. For 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Shake out all the joints. Shake out all the muscles. We're going to move into our cool down portion for today. Thank you all for sticking with me despite the temperature wildness. Let's begin by just kind of gently shaking everything out, twisting that upper body, stretching out those obliques. We worked them in quite a few of the exercises today. And for a little core stretch, let's come over onto our hands and knees in tabletop. We're just going to take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So what that means is arching our back in, lifting that chin to the sky, stretching the rectus abdominis, those sort of classic six-pack abs. And then bringing that chin into chest, arching your back like a cat, stretching those abdominal muscles that run along the spine. We focused on those posterior abdominals today with those bridges as well as flutter kicks. And let's walk those hands forward a bit, stretch those legs out behind us. Come up and lift to the chest, pressing yourself away from the mat. And bring that bum back into child's pose. Stretch the fingers as far in front of you as you can. Feel free to wiggle the hips back and forth here, kind of open those hips a little bit. We did work them quite a bit with that full body set at the beginning of class. And let's come back up into that tabletop. Being on your knees, we're going to roll out the wrists a bit. Although we've been doing it throughout all of class, I know that planks can be really hard on those joints, so we want to take care of them. And switching into the opposite direction. Take a couple wide arm circles in one direction. Oh, that creates a little breeze too, actually. It's kind of nice. Alrighty, we're going to switch into the opposite direction here. Ending by bringing one arm across our chest, gently pulling it back with the other. We're stretching the deltoids here, the muscles that surround the shoulder. Also, we're worked with a lot of those planks and especially those early push-ups that we did. Swing those arms nice and wide and we'll stretch towards the other one. And let's come on up onto our feet. We're going to plant one heel here, gently stretch towards it, keeping the back nice and flat so we're still stretching those muscles of the lower back. Reaching for that toe if you can, but just generally stretching down towards the floor. And let's bring it back up, switch to the other foot, same motion here. Coming on up, shaking it all out, rotating those ankles, wrists, doing whatever else you need to do. That is everything I have for you. Thanks so much for coming. Again, my name is Lexi. This is Core Blast. I also teach HIIT on Mondays if you're interested in high-intensity interval training. But I love feedback on my classes. I love knowing which motions you hated or which ones you loved. I won't be offended either way. Please let me know in the chat. Please let me know in person. Happy to have you all here. And otherwise, have a lovely Friday and weekend. Thank you.